How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be pulling out every little thing in my carpet box. I'm going to show you just everything that I keep in my carpet box, my hand tools and such like that. Give you an idea of what goes on and stuff, what tools I use, and so forth on every carpet job. Before we get taken off with the content, I want to give a shout out and a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, Jobber. Jobber is a software that is tailored directly to the home service industry, whether it be painting, plumbing, electrical, or in our case, flooring. Really makes it simple to create quotes, send invoices, and pretty much anything that a person needs to do. Tons of admin work, really easy to use. I mean, you guys know that I didn't go real far through school. I only got a 6th grade education, and thankfully, this software comes with a personal one-on-one coach that's super easy, and it'll help you get everything set up and running for those people that are not so tech savvy, such as myself. I'll leave a link in the description for that, and you can also start with a 14-day trial and get special discounts by using the link that I provide in the description. With that out of the way, let's open them up and check out what is inside of here. So right off the bat, I didn't want to keep this, I didn't want stuff like this separated in there. I'll show you exactly what it is. So I actually just took this bag and stuck it down in there. This is my glue guns and seam sealing gun and stuff like that. I got a pack of the Power Hold glue sticks. I've got this Trax glue gun in there. This is what I use for upholstery work. I've actually got another one out there that has a longer tip on it that I actually use for upholstery work. But I don't like to keep that in the bag because whenever I put these long tips in the bag, you see what happens to them. They get busted off. So I keep this one in there. When I know I'm going to be doing some upholstery work with some steps or something, I'll take that glue gun back there with me. Anyway, what comes in this bag, you can see I got various types of glue sticks for this gun, and my seam sealing gun right here, the Oricon Peak Buster, is what I use for that, and the Cool Glide seam sticks for that. So that all goes in this bag and stays completely separated from these tools. Just to keep it from getting beat up. If I have to stick it in the bag before it cools down a little bit, so be it. It's in there. It's not hurting anything, just keeping it all separate in the bag. Right here we go. Here's another one of them tips that I like to keep. This is super nice for upholstery work. You can actually see that that's a little tapered there. Can you see that tapered right there? So that's for puncturing through carpet and doing repair work is actually what this one is for. But also, it's really nice to get real meticulous little spots and such with upholstery work without getting it all over the fibers and stuff like that. Them long tips like that are super nice. Okay, I'm going to push that out of the way. We'll go to the drawer, the little shelf right here next. This is pretty much my specialty like drawer or shelf, you might say. So I've got my sewing stuff in here. I got this stuff, is put this wrap around my finger whenever I do a lot of sewing because the thread and needle really get your finger right there. This is a push glove. If you put it on, I don't use it a whole lot. Most of the time I just use my finger here, but this is for pushing the needle through the carpet and stuff like that. It just makes it a little easier. Like I said, I don't use that a whole lot. Most of the time I'll just wrap my finger with this cloth tape right here and put it over my finger right there just to protect it a little bit whenever I'm sewing. And also that's what this light is for. It just helps me see whenever I'm doing carpet seams in woven carpet, Wiltons and stuff like that. You got to deconstruct them. So this just gives me a little better vision on stuff like that when I'm doing small meticulous work. A staple puller, everybody needs one of those for steps and stuff. These are tack strip spacers. I keep 2 sets of these. That way whenever I'm doing custom staircases or anything like that, I got 2 sets. I got one piece on each side of the step. I can place one over here and one over here, and then take my staple gun, pat, 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 and knock the staples or place the tack strip directly on the steps perfectly. That's why these things are used. It's not that we don't know how far to place the space, how far to take. Bleh. It's not because we don't know how far of a gully to have or how to space out our tack strip for steps. These things just make it super accurate, super precise whenever you're dealing in high-end clients, high-end carpet and stuff like that. You just want to get it beautiful. So these allow for very, very accurate and precise work. There's all different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4 different sizes per set of steps. I mean, per set. Again, I have 2 sets, 1 on each side of the step. I have carpet awls. 4 of the crane carpet awls. You got to have those whenever you're doing pattern work and stuff like that. Extra knife. Some of these are actually leather awls for leather work, but I use these for flooring as well whenever I'm doing little meticulous work, say upholstery work or something like that on steps. You can take your little piece that you need to get out of the way, hold it back and push it down, and clamp it right there to the step. Or else whenever I'm deconstructing for a seam, these come in really handy for that as well. I keep blades, carpet blades, trimmer blades, staples for my pad gun, and this right here is all natural latex for my woven goods and stuff like that. I use this seam sealer. This is a latex, natural latex. It's not acrylic or anything like that. I have acrylic over here, but anyway, I use latex in gullies, and say if I'm working carpet to tile or hardwood or something like that, I'll always just squirt a little bit of this in the gully and then tuck it. It's going to be there forever. If I'm doing a gripper metal or something like that, I'll squeeze the back of this in the gripper metal. Even rubber transitions, it comes in really good for that. Just squeeze a little bit of that in the back of that rubber reducer or whatever. Tuck your carpet in. It's guarantee you it's going to stay there for the life of the carpet without raveling. Latex is awesome. This is a row finder. It is the number 366 crane row finder. It looks like a comb. This is by all means the best row finder for commercial carpet, loop pile carpet, and such like that. Okay, that's it for my top shelf. Alrighty, start right off of this. This is acrylic seam sealer. I like to use that on certain situations. Occasionally I'll do a not so fancy carpet or whatever, and I'll use this on something like that rather than using my expensive latex. What's in here is actually not what the bottle says. I just replaced that with it is an Orcon that I use, but it's not this. It's Orcon Fast Lock that's inside of this weld lock bottle, but it is an Orcon Fast Lock. And the type of latex that I have in here is the Roberts 8502 latex. This is really good stuff, and you can see it comes from Tools to Flooring. They will always tape up the top of that whenever they ship it so you don't lose your little tip or anything like that. But this is what is in here. And this is what is in here. I just don't keep all these other bottles inside my van. Just one bottle a piece, or inside my box rather. I do have extra bottles on my van in my shelf. I just don't keep it all in my box. So Orcon Fast Lock I keep, and Roberts 8502 I keep. Alrighty. Orcon Magnum cutter, that is my top cutter that I use. I got a couple of them. Don't never hurt to have multiples of your stuff in there in case one is just not conveniently placed. So the Orcon Magnum top cutter. Couple different carpet trimmers. These are the old school Roberts carpet trimmers 10616. They don't even make this particular model. They say they are the same, but the 10616s now are not like these. These are the old school ones. Got these in the 90s and they still running great. The original ones that I got in the 90s are actually a little bit wore out, and I got lucky and found some of these old ones at a flea market, so I bought them up because these old ones like this are hard to come by. When I found them, definitely had to get them. What the difference is between these and the newer ones, the same model number, 10616, the handle is different. The handle on the new ones are fat. They got the fat red handles. I like this little skinny handle. It's just what I got used to, and it feels really great. Also, the new Better Tools trimmers that I sell on my website also have the same type handle. They're actually just like this, and I love that. If anything ever happens to this, I'll be switching to those, I guarantee it. Okay, so I have the dual fast, I think, yeah, dual fast slap stapler, hammer tacker, or whatever. I've used this particular kind all my entire career. A lot of guys use the little A11 staplers that don't have the big bulky head. People say, oh, that thing's so heavy. You're right, it is heavier, which makes it easier to use. The little bitty light one, whenever you slap it down, most of the time the staples are sticking up. I don't like that. I like them to sink. If you're working with a thinner carpet or something like that, especially on the little thin loop pile carpet that is a lot of high-end stuff, if you have a staple sticking 3/4 of the way up, you're going to feel that through the carpet. So I like to sink my staples all the way down, and that's why I use this heavy staple gun. A hammer, nothing special about that. Napping shears, seam squeezers. These are Robert's napping shears. These are specifically mine, Floors by Southern Boys seam squeezers that I got right there. I actually had these made and stamped with my logo on them. You able to see that? No? How about that? There you go. So I sold a mess of these on my website, and I don't have any more, and I'm not going to get any more made, but I obviously kept a couple for myself. These are super nice and super convenient whenever you're making a seam. Those are a must, in my opinion. This, concrete nails, and again, yeah, these are 5/8 nails, 10 gauge with a magnet holder. I think Gunlock makes this. You've got to have one of these if you're doing nubbies and short concrete nails. Wood tack strip nails. It's another bag. These nail bags are awesome. I know what's in them just by the color. I used to have a bunch of them, but since I don't do a whole lot of hammering anymore because of my wrist, I kind of got rid of a lot of them. Most of my stuff now, if it's on concrete, I will use the aluminum drives and the carbide drill, or I will use the Gunlock stand-up driver bar. I really like that. You can see what I got here. This is my tack strip nails for wood. Most of the time I staple, but occasionally if I don't want to get that stuff out, I simply use that. 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic tuckers. These are super nice and super convenient to have. You don't mark your baseboards up or anything like that. Gotta have these for high-end work. Stuff that's not so high-end, got my traditional Floors by Southern Boys stair tool that actually has a little weight to it. Makes it easier to tuck versus the plastic ones, but you run the risk of marking the baseboards if kind of depends on the paint that they use. So I got a couple of them. You got to have those anyway for steps or transitioning to tile or something like that. Got me an Oricon T-handle. Love this for steps. This has got that nice clean edge right here. This is really thin compared to the traditional stair tools. I really like the Oricon because it is thin like that. So I don't know if you could tell or not, but the T-handle, super good. Super, super good for doing steps. Golly, what is that called? Easy Tuck or something. What is this? Easy Tuck. It's Taylor Tools. That is super nice. I like to use that for getting it stuck on the strip. I don't really use it for tucking, but whenever I stretch up a lot of times I'll take this and I'll just run it by the wall. Like a lot of people will use a spreader, I like to use this, or my hands like that. So that's the purpose I use that for. It's good for glue down commercial work also, because you can use this up next to the walls, crease it real good, gives you a nice crisp line to run down real easy with your knife. So this is multi-purpose for that. Along with my shears, I got a couple more different pair of scissors. These are the Roberts, and these are the Gunlock here. These are the great big scissors. Oh, I don't know if these are Gunlock crescent widths, but anyway, these are some great big heavy duty, I think. Let's check out the size of them. Right there. So a 6-inch blade, and overall they are 12.5 inches big. So nice big set. Good to use on custom staircases, felt pad, and such like that. Really good to use for felt pad. Whenever you're doing steps and stuff, you can, cut all that stuff at an angle, get real nitty gritty around your tack strip, just for beautiful quality craftsmanship work like we like to do here on this channel. Here is got another one of those for me and my guy. A lot of stuff I have two of just for that reason. I actually got another set of these, but my guy has them at the house. These are Robert's tack strip cutters. Gotta have them for sure for doing tack strip. And 1, 2, 3 tape measures. A star roller, Orcon, it ain't a star roller, it is might actually be a star roller. I think a spike roller is what's different about the star roller and the spike roller. The spike roller's got longer, bigger spikes. This might actually be called a star roller, but anyway, you get the gist of it, what it is. Sometimes when you're doing hand sewing on corners of steps or something like that, or done sewing up steps or whatever, if you're sewing on the corner here or on the top here, you're going to want to use this a little bit just to fluff it and make it look a little bit better. So that's what I got that for. I do not use that on seams. That is simply for whenever I sew corners. It is not for seams. This is what I use for seams. And you might say, my goodness, that thing is ugly. Well, it ought to be. I've had this since I was 19 years old. So it's been around. Definitely has been around. This is the 3-inch smooth action roller from Orcon. I got a lifetime guarantee on it. So as soon as I got this thing when I was 19, I was like, lifetime guarantee, huh? Bam! I slammed it down. Bling! Everything flew off of it. I had to hunt the pieces down and put it back together. And here it is. Golly, almost 30 years later. This is put together with Jet Tack. That's what you see on there, right there. Jet Tack epoxy. It was actually laying underneath the carpet when the carpet was folded over and it got stepped on and busted. I put it back together with Jet Tack epoxy, and it's been holding up for probably 10 years since I done that. So, okay, just a couple more things in here. My box is just about empty. Got this. It's really awesome for steps. This is the crane stair claw. This thing works really good. You can see how it's made there like that. This will actually set over and it stretches. It don't only push it under the bullnose for you. This will actually stretch the step for you as well. Place it on your bullnose like this. Let's see here. Get a grab like that and pull it around under the bullnose like that, and it'll push it up under the bullnose. You got these to put your staples in under the bullnose there. That's what those little U shapes are for. And as you pull it like that, these claws right here will actually get a hold of the carpet and pull that step super tight. So just as hard as you can pull down on that, that's how hard you're going to stretch it. This outside's not real sharp, but on the inside of these, they're pretty daggum sharp, and they get a nice bite on the carpet. So I use that occasionally. I can't say that I use it all the time, but yeah, I use it often enough to keep it in my box. We'll say that. Orcon. I got 2 sets of these Orcon row finders. A skinny one and a fat one. A skinny one and a fat one. These are by all means the best row finders out there. They're similar to a knit needle, similar to an ink pen. Ink pen is what I got used to when I was started installing, and these are the closest thing that I have found to an ink pen, and they work super awesome. For the denser tight carpet, I use the skinny one here. The fluffer carpet that's not so tightly knitted together, I'll use the fat one, because the pile that's not compact together really tight, that has a maybe a lower pick or something like that, or I forget what you even call that. But anyway, the fibers that are not tightly together so much, I'll use the fat one, because the rows are wider, has a wider gauge. The fat one seems to go through it better and stays in the gauge better. The skinny one is for the smaller gauge carpet that are tighter together. And that's about it. I got one small piece of carpet seam tape in here, and this jet tack nozzle, but it don't even belong in here. It actually belongs on my shelf. Must have just got thrown in here. But anyway, that is, you can say, golly, don't look like all this would go in that box, but this is what goes in every single carpet job with me. This box, and I got one more box out there that goes in every single job with me, no matter if it's vinyl plank, hardwood, laminate. I just have a everything box that has all my pry bars, hammers, just all of that kind of stuff, screwdrivers and stuff like that. That box goes in every single job. This is specifically my carpet box. I've got another box that just for hardwood and vinyl plank and laminate and stuff like that. I got that hardwood box, and that's it. I like to try to keep all that stuff separated out a little bit, so I'm not just taking everything in for every job. But anyway, you guys give this video a big old fat thumbs up there. I would appreciate it. And again, thank you guys for tuning into the channel. Until next time, FBSB's out.